What impact did King's death have on the civil rights movement? By Zain. Have you wondered how the death of Martin Luther King Jr. affected civil rights? Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had a huge impact on the civil rights movement during his life and after. People are still learning about him 53 years later. Martin Luther King Jr. was born in 1929. He was also assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee on April 4th, 1968. Martin Luther King Jr. He was only 39. James Lorray was the man who killed Martin Luther King Jr. He was so bad that people thought James Lorray killed Malcolm X, a famous civil rights leader too, and he was to serve 99 years in that prison. Martin Luther King Jr. also made the saying, "I have a dream," famous worldwide, and these words are also in a famous speech, and many people know Martin Luther King Jr. because of the speech. Many civil rights leaders thought of his death as a threat, like they keep on doing what they do, they will have the same future as him. But it did not stop everybody. People thought of this as a chance. Because of this, there was so many riots, you couldn't even count them all. All these riots started with Martin Luther King Jr.'s death. Also, some riots took place in New York, Manhattan, and because of all these riots and fighting, more than 40 innocent people died. For many, King had represented the promise of a better life for African Americans, but with his death, their hope for them to be equivalent to white people had seemed to be died off too. The fighting was getting way out of hand. Police started fighting back, and in LA, police beat someone to the point that they almost died. But some people say they deserve it. He ran away from the police, but I think he should have just got arrested. In conclusion, now I taught you everything you need to know about what impact did Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s death have on the civil rights movement. And something we do from is celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. Day on January 15th.